In Washington, a high school by the name of Gig Harbor High School has surveillance cameras all over campus. All right. The dean of students, Keith Nelson, actually suspected one of the young girls as being a lesbian. He suspected that she was engaging in, physical activity with another girl on campus. So what he did is he looked through all the surveillance cameras, found footage of it, and told her parents.
Now, this story really makes me angry.
Right.
I mean, this is exactly what I'm talking about. Big Brother's watching everything. Yesterday on the show, we did the story about the Republican guy in Arizona that got busted because they took a picture of his car speeding, and then they go and arrest him at his office, which I was totally against. Now, two girls are making out in the corner, and they go through all the videotape, and I'm sure that principal struggled as he trying to find young girls making out.
Hold on, let me just clarify one thing. It wasn't the principal; it was the dean of students. The principal has come out and said that was wrong. I'm not allowing this type of behavior to ever happen again. The surveillance cameras are only used for security issues, and that's it.
Well, I'm glad he said that, and I'm very glad you clarified that. So, principal's off the hook, but they should have never done this in the first place. And they always say in the beginning, oh, no, we're only going to use it for, extreme cases of, terrorism, and bin Laden, turns out, is on school grounds, and we caught him, and that's the only reason why we're going to put these cameras in. And then next thing you know, they're like, well, if you're late to class, maybe we could use it because that's an infraction. Oh, well, if you're kissing the wrong kind of person, maybe we could use it then, because that's an infraction. Oh, I saw you. I don't know it just spreads to everything, and then they're monitoring your life 24/7. And I can't stand it. I think it's totally wrong, and they're getting up in everybody's business over this. And it's like the Patriot Act. Oh, no, we're going to use it to hunt down terrorists, except they just arrested a 16-year-old kid in North Carolina because using the Patriot Act. So they claim that he did a bomb threat to the school. Right? But that's not what this was supposed to be for. I don't even know if it's true because the kid doesn't have his full rights yet. It spreads and it spreads and it spreads, and they take video and photos of you everywhere.
Everywhere. There was that study that I did for my class, right, my methodology class about FISA, and how the media basically led people into believing that the FISA amendment of 2008 and telecom immunity was necessary for the country's safety and security, right? Of all the people who thought that FISA and telecom immunity are constitutional, they solely depended on television for their news. Isn't that interesting? And all the people who thought it was unconstitutional got their news from a combination of sources.
Well, that's because, and they've done these studies before, the people who are most misled on the facts.
Right.
For example, did Saddam Hussein work with Al-Qaeda on 9/11? That's a fact. He did not, right? The people who are most misled are the ones that get their news from television.
Right.
The ones that are even more misled, at the top of the list, are people who get their news from Fox News Channel on television. Okay, it's amazing and totally true because they don't want you to have the real news. They're not interested. They're interested in propaganda. So I'm not surprised by that at all. And by the way, of course, they told us that the eavesdropping on FISA would only be for people known to be talking to Al-Qaeda, until we found out, of course, they were spying on the press and some politicians from the opposing party and average American citizens that are not guilty of a damn thing.
Right.
So I don't believe the hype.
For the sake of argument, if I could, strictly about the videotaping of things. As we all know, the original reason they say is to stop things from happening, say it's out of a gas station. When a person that actually is breaking the law or maybe came in and killed someone is caught, is it worth not having those for these idiots that'll misuse it? As long as, I'm just saying, if there was some kind of course, people are going to do wrong with things eventually when they know they have this power to do like this guy did, this dean of students, right? As long as it's someone like the principal that when that kind of offense happens, he doesn't get a stern talking to, he doesn't get that stuff, he gets fired. As if he was breaking rules with any other students, like if he was caught making out with a student. As long as there's that kind of thing set up, do you think it's worth just scrapping everything and missing out the things that would happen? Not necessarily at the school, but everywhere else. You have cameras in places,
right? Okay, look, Chair, that's an excellent question. And is it worth our right of privacy for the extra security? And my answer is definitively no. Yes.
That's not the question.
No, but it is the question. Because at some point, you're right, the cameras will capture some, pedophile. I mean, I'm giving you a worst case scenario to make your argument better, right? Lurking on school grounds, or someone who assaults someone or murders someone on school grounds. And that's valuable. I want that, right? It's not like I'm giving up nothing, right? But at the same time, you're giving up all the privacy for anyone on school grounds ever, right? And I'm not willing to do that trade-off. Yeah, if someone gets murdered at the school, God, I wish we had the cameras there for that, but it's not worth it. I mean, then why don't we put cameras everywhere? We put a camera in there. Well, we do have cameras in here. But we put a camera in your house. We put it in your bathroom because maybe a murderer comes into your bathroom. There's another story today of a woman who got raped in her bedroom. Mm-hmm. So should we have put a camera in her bedroom to record everything that happens in case someone ever comes in to rape her? My answer is no.
That's private property, and it's up to the person who owns the house. Because people do have cameras on their house sometimes. That's up to them to put up. Now, if the government starts saying every house in the country, your private property, we're putting something on it. That's what I'm talking about. That doesn't make any sense. But when you have something like, there's a gas station, this guy has it up there, and he catches somebody. Should be like, I can't believe they have this up there. Or even that camera, the camera on the Republican who was caught speeding.
But a gas station is private property as well.
Right.
So, he has the right to put it up.
Right, okay,
a public school is not private property. I don't think that surveillance camera had any reason to be up in that school. I agree with Cenk on that.
Especially on the schools, because they want to be up the kids' asses. You know that? It's not even, I'm not even blaming the school officials. It's the parents who are like, what's Johnny doing? What's Sally doing? I need to know every minute. And if they step out of line at all, by being like gay in this case, right? Then you have to report it to me and stuff. Now, you remember we did the story about the teachers and how they put a camera on every school classroom in a particular district, and then they're evaluating every minute of her moves and every minute of the moves of the kids in the class. If any of them fall asleep, la 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 la.
This is people. It's not the fact that it's the fact that the cameras. It's the fact what people do with this camera footage.
Now, put the cameras in there, and I guarantee you they will abuse it. Guarantee.
Yeah, that's what humans do. Now, it's like saying we can't have any system or anything because humans will destroy anything.
No, that's not what
There's a way to get around to destroy everything. Humans are corrupt.
No, I don't think that that's what the argument that Cenk is trying to make. I think that the problem here is that our freedoms are being compromised in the name of security. And it's not a free country when you're walking on the street just minding your own business and you know someone has surveillance of you watching every move you make. You don't live in a free country or a free society when you have to worry about things like that. So when it comes to a public school, or when it comes to a college campus, or when it comes to emailing your friend overseas, I don't think that anyone should have the ability to watch you or have surveillance of you. It's just not okay.
Here's the only compromise I could even begin to have a conversation about, okay? They make the tapes. There is an automatic machine that after X period of time, a month, 6 months, a year, whatever it is, automatically destroys the tapes. And no one can even access the tape area unless it is unless they have a warrant from a court saying there was a crime here and I need to check the cameras to see what happened. Okay? All right, then I'm beginning to have a conversation, although good luck in putting together that system. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. What I wonder about, and we don't know this detail, okay? What I wonder is, does this school have a security guard who's sitting there watching surveillance 24/7 or, during school hours to make sure?
That's another problem.
Is the surveillance really going to protect from a shooting or protect the students from anything? I mean, I want to know that.
And if you have such a security guard, what do you think he's going to be doing instead? Mm-hmm. There ain't nobody coming to bust into that school. He's looking out to see all the girls and guys making out. Okay, that's what he's going to spend 90% of his time on. That's why they were thrilled to have this on tape, I'm sure.